Hi, I'm astrologer Penny Dix and welcome to another Astrobite. And today is Tuesday, the 11th of February. And we have similar energy to yesterday, but today the energy has shifted from Mercury to the Sun Sun Square Uranus. So the Sun, remember, is our heart and soul. It's our inner solar system. It's the way we work. It's the way our psyche and soul operate within us. And of course, it is the center of our solar system. And the Sun rules the sign of Leo. It is a fire energy. It's fixed, and of course it is fixed, even though in our reality it appears to move round us. Of course, in reality, we are spinning round the Sun. And it's actually, of course, still conjunct Mercury, the planet of communication, which was squaring Uranus, the planet of shocks, upsets, surprises, and freedom of speech, rioting, rebellion, earthquakes yesterday. And today, now, the Sun is squaring Uranus. So, and we still have the energy of retrograde Mars, our planet of energy, assertion, aggression, attention, and Mercury is still swimming backwards in Cancer and tiring as we speak. And Mars is trining Pisces with Saturn there, that is trying to slow it down. So if you go slowly, you'll get to that direct movement quicker. And Mars is saying, yeah, but I've had enough of this swimming. But anyway, enough of the wittering. Back to today's aspect of the Sun squaring Uranus. We are going to hear from a powerful person some shocking, startling information. The Sun maybe also represents in your own life somebody who is significant to you. Or it's you that is giving shocking, startling, sudden information, news to someone. And it's kind of like a game changer. It could also be you giving that news to yourself and going, well, it's clear the way I have to go, and it's clear now what I should be doing. So that is also around in this energy. And the moon today, still in Leo, is making a sextile to Jupiter, bringing in some energy of opportunity, of luck, of looking at the bigger picture of whatever may have kicked off yesterday, whether it's in your thinking, whether it's about your way forward, what you're going to do, how you're going to make something work with maybe your passion, your career. It could be to do with relationships. But the moon is sextiling Jupiter. So Jupiter is saying, look, hang on in there. I'm going direct now. So I'm actually kind of going to come and catch you up a little bit later. And Jupiter in Gemini is thinking of all these interesting out-of-the-box ideas and connecting you with these higher sort of frequencies to lift your energy to see things in a more positive way. And so that even though the Sun squaring Uranus can bring challenges and difficulties, Jupiter is saying, just look for the opportunity in this. Look for what changes. Look for how this perhaps stop sign is actually preventing you making or going down a path that really wouldn't be good for you. So it's about being positive. It's about, and really in a sense, we always need to try and stay on a positive vibration. I know it's not easy with what we get fed us in the daily news feeds and everything else that gets thrown at us, that we saturate up, we get saturated with all this information. But it is about trying to stay one step ahead of it, to keep up with this movement forward. You know, yes, we can stand back and rest for a moment, but at the moment the energy is such that we really do need to keep moving forward, whether it's in our thinking, in our personal growth, to try and think, okay, now the cosmos wants me to just take this diversion. Let's see what this is about. What can I gain from this? What can I learn from this? How can I turn this into an opportunity to advantage me? So there's a lot of this kind of energy around at the moment. So I just want you to be mindful of that. So again, it's a Tuesday where also we may see, with Mercury still squaring Uranus, we may see news coming out about the economy. Because I know last week it was a little bit rocky and it was all over the place. And so there may be more news that is kind of revealed today from, say, government institutions that say, you know, this is how it is, bringing in restrictions, bringing in feelings that you just can't move beyond. So affecting things like, well, the property market, the economy, affecting everything. I think we have to stand back and be circumspect about it. What we have to do, and I've often talked about this, is when everything looks as if it's going, you know, upside down and really not in a good position, we have to learn to adapt. So if the world economy or the economy of the country you're living in or your personal finances are going through a little bit of a sticky time, try and be circumspect about it. Adapt to it. Don't allow it to affect your feelings. Just stay in the intellect, which is Mercury. Stay in the intellect and look at how you can solve these problems kind of sensibly. You know, pen to paper, make a list, go through all your direct debits that you don't even know what you signed up for, and you can sort of find that you've had, you know, $50, 50 euros, 50 pounds going out a month, which you don't even know what it's for, and you don't use whatever it was for. So it's always quite a good exercise to go through and just sort of think, well, what am I paying out for? And sometimes I've found I don't even really know where to look. And so I go into, say, my PayPal account and I think, where am I paying things out? Or I go into my bank account and I look at the transactions and I think, what's this? Who's this to? Why am I paying €3.50 a month to some strange named company? And that way you can start kind of narrowing down, trimming down things and where money is slipping out that it really doesn't need to. So the word for today, which comes from that Sun Square Uranus, is challenges. Excuse me, because challenge is a powerful word, and it's a word that we don't always embrace because it's like, oh, it's hard work. If something's challenging, it means I've really got to think. I've got to think outside the box. I've got to try and make sense of all of this. So there's an African proverb, which I think is lovely, which is, smooth seas do not make a skillful sailor. Kind of true. And Joshua J. Marine said, challenges are what makes life interesting. Overcoming them is what makes life meaningful. And that's true because we grow. We don't grow if everything's just jogging along nicely. It's very nice, but actually, you know what? It gets a bit boring at times. And Molière said, the greater the obstacle, the more glory in overcoming it. It's true. Fred DeVito said, if it doesn't challenge you, it won't change you. Roger Crawford said, being challenged in life is inevitable. Being defeated is optional. I like that. I think that's quite a good one. Now, good old Seneca said, difficulties strengthen the mind as labor does the body. Well, you know, I remember when I was in therapy, and I was in therapy for many, many years, because in my day, when you worked as a therapist, as a psychotherapist, it was mandatory to be in personal therapy. And so I used to have, to begin with, for the first few years, it was twice weekly therapy, along with twice weekly supervision. So you're kind of getting double whammies all the time of input and training and learning after you've done the basic psychotherapy training. But one of the things that sticks with me, that the therapist I was with for a very, very long time, was that there's no such thing as a free lunch, and everything comes at a price. And I used to think, oh, here she goes again. Everything comes at a price. Why can't everything not come at a price? But of course, she was right. And anything worth having is actually worth paying the price. And Bruce Lee said, do not pray for an easy life. Pray for the strength to endure a difficult one. I mean, I don't think any of us would, stand up and say, oh, yes, please pick me. I'll have a difficult life, please. But, actually, it makes a very rich life. And people that perhaps don't have relatively what might call difficult lives probably have difficulties in their own way, but it's probably more emotionally based and psychologically based, because they're not really getting any of the life challenges that build us, that make us into the people we can become. Ray Davis said, a challenge only becomes an obstacle when you bow to it. Well, I suppose that's where, you have to work with it. And if you work with it, you can overcome it. George Washington said, the harder the conflict, the greater the triumph. True, but I don't think we need to crow about it, do we? I don't know whether that's particularly helpful. Albert Einstein finally said, in the middle of every difficulty lies opportunity. Now, I think that is rather a good one to finish on, because I like that. In the middle of every difficulty lies opportunity. So let's take that with us forward through today, that every difficulty that besets us today is actually an opportunity, and make it a fabulous day. And also remember to like, comment and subscribe. And I tell you what, I'm going to be back tomorrow with another Astrobite for the full moon in Leo. And remember, my full in-depth Leo full moon video is up on my YouTube channel. So why not check it out? In the meantime, thanks very much. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now. Bye.